Hey guys, this is Emperador Maximiliano back with another video for you guys. It is very late at night right now, but I finally got some free time to come down here and get a video put together. So wanted to do a video on trend days. So we had two beautiful trend days this week, and want to go over how I'm recognizing these trend days, what tools I'm using to spot the trend, and try to make a good decision based on that. And then also the data that I use to try to see where should I be taking profits so I can maximize how much profit I'm taking out of the market, right? So we don't need to capture the entire move, but we want to capture the bulk of it, right? And make good informed decisions. So obviously the toughest thing about trend days is identifying the trend day as early as possible and trying to get in on the trend and follow it. And then if you are a little bit late and you aren't able really to get in with good risk to reward, just sometimes recognizing that it's a trend day and maybe I should just stay away and just not trade, just kind of watch it for a while and see if it breaks structure or something. But um, first thing I want to look at here, this is the QQQ chart. I just kind of want to show you guys some reference of what's been going on. We had Monday, we had a consolidation day. And then we had a trend day up on Tuesday, consolidated again on Wednesday, and then today another beautiful trend day to the upside. We always talk about consolidation, and then market can run, can trend, and then we get consolidation, so market's either running or resting, and then there we go again with the trend. So let's jump over to my NQ chart. Want to show you guys basically what I was seeing as far as identifying the trend today and Tuesday, and then the data that I use to try to maximize profit, as take as much as possible from the market, so we're maximizing those gains, right? One of the main things I do is I live on the 5-minute chart throughout the day. I do switch over to the other ones for some reference. I'll show you that here in just a moment. But the EMA 9 and the EMA 21 are two of my favorite tools for watching trend and kind of what's going on in the market. And I don't know if it gets better than this. So we did have data come out this morning. It was very strong. We didn't even really get a pullback after that data came out, as you can see here early. So my orb indicator is also on here. One of my bread and butter, staples of my trading is watching the orb. You can see basically our orb low and the low of our New York session was right at the opening candle, and we're already riding this EMA 9 just from early in the morning. And then the orb itself, so once we break above the orb, to me, that's usually a bullish sign, especially if we stay above it. If we accept back into it, that's when I start to look to play the other direction. But in this case, we get over the orb. My bias is automatically going to be a little bit to the long side. And then just looking at these EMAs, so the first thing I notice here is, how quickly it's supporting off of the EMA 9, especially early in the day. Right here, never really could close underneath it, even if I zoom in a little bit here. Actually, I thought we would probably come back test the orb for a decent entry long here, bounce here maybe, and try it. But we didn't even get that. But we did get a nice little, you can see a pretty clear bull flag right here coming up. Boom, bull flag, and go. And then just following this EMA 9, another thing I recognized today was looking at this 21 EMA. So the 21 EMA is always pretty strong, or savage, as we like to joke around about. And you see we didn't touch it until what, 12:40, 12:45 from the data release at 8:30 this morning. So 4 hours above it, that is a strong trend. That's a sign for me to basically stay away from anything other than a trend trade, right? So I'm not looking for a big reversal or anything. If anything, I'm looking for the first time we touch it or test it to see if it holds and try to get long. But in this case, we didn't touch it for a very long time. We came into the lunch hour, came back and touched it right here. And then once we broke back above the 9 right here, we got some nice continuation to the upside. Not a whole lot, but just continued trend. Basically, bears, go hibernate for the rest of the day. If you're in longs, you're you're sitting pretty. You're probably already taking profit, and there wasn't really a whole lot to do in the back half of the session today. I'm also going to show you guys one of my other favorite indicators. It's the VWAP with the outer band. So here's our VWAP, and then you see this green area on both sides is the 1 standard deviation outer band. You can see that right here. That's this is under the settings, the band multiplier. So that's the first kind of standard deviation. And if you look at this, I use this all the time because just look how clear this is supporting, and supporting again right here, and then finally kind of got underneath it and accepted back into it right at the close basically. So stayed outside of that even all day long. So to me, some very strong trend indicators right there. So add those to your toolbox if you want. That's what I really like to use on these trend days. Let's go look at Tuesday real fast. We have a very similar thing here. So Tuesday we broke above the orb right here, and then just started trending and grinding and grinding and grinding to the upside. And you'll even notice, even when we did get some news, I think we had a Fed speaker that said something maybe right here, but look at where this supported on this outer VWAP band. Boom and boom, and then early in the day you see, basically holding right outside of it. You can definitely see it's a big area of interest. If I flip that off, flip my EMAs back on, you're going to see very similar. Here, look at your EMA 9, and look at this, just riding it. You touched the 21 once early in the day, and then stayed away from it for a long time. Held it again right here. So, never really even let go of it. Kind of rejected here, maybe a little false signal here during power hour, but never really wanted to break down. So there's a couple of things for just identifying the trend. Now, the other thing I want to look at is what can we do as far as taking profit, knowing when's a good time to maybe take some profit on a trend day, because we want to get as much as we can, but we also don't want to be too greedy and let it turn around on us in case that trend does break, right? So one thing that I do look at, so if I flip to some of the higher time frames, and I know some of you guys probably do this as well. Here's a 30-minute, for example. Let's go to the day, because I like this example here. This is the 30-minute chart for today's session, and what I'm looking at is the consecutive amount of green candles right here. So at the open we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we, from our open right here, we took 6 green 30-minute candles in a row. And when we did that, what I'm thinking is, okay, we're about due for a red candle sometime, right? So if I can switch. So if I'm in this trade from somewhere in here, like I was showing you a while ago, and we start to do this move right here, where do I want to start taking some profit if I am in the trend? Because if I go back to this 5-minute chart, and you see, kind of the bull flag and the continuation here, I'm wondering, okay, where do I want to take profit at? Here on the 30-minute chart is where I start counting these candles of consecutive ones, because I've got a data report over here from my friends over at Edgeful. They have the same thing for QQQ, for SPY, for everything else. Since I'm looking at NQ chart, we'll stick with that one right now. And what I'm going to look at is 2 examples here, one from today, one from Tuesday. Today's example, if you look at, so I've got the last 6 months of data. I think is pretty good range to use. Everyone's kind of got their preference. I think that's a pretty good range to use right now. And average consecutive bars, so it's actually under trend analysis. They have this separated very nicely, so you can kind of separate the reports by what type of report you're looking for. But this right here, average consecutive bars, and I can customize this so I can look at 5, 15, 30-minute consecutive bars. So in today's case, I saw that we had several 30-minute candles that were green in a row. So I came over here to this report. This tells me the maximum that we've seen over the last 6 months is 10. That must have been a lovely day to be long on. And then if you look at the average amount that we get is just over 3 consecutive green bars. Now remember, we just counted these out from the opens, because I do have this set on the New York session here, just for the accuracy, of course. And if we count these out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm looking at 6 consecutive green bars. That is basically double. Oh, let me click over here. That's basically double our average. And we're starting to get close to this 10. So maybe I should probably start taking profit in that area. Once I get to kind of double the average around 6, and if I get to 7, if I see 7 or 8, if we get close to this 10 number, I'm definitely going to be taking profit. If not, looking to trim heavily down to just some very, very small runners. And especially if you got long down here somewhere, I mean, you've caught a nice part of the move. Let's just say you got long in this area. You've caught almost 200 points right there. Let's say you do greed this out for a little bit longer. You're getting an extra 30 points if you held it to the absolute. No, this is actually after hours. The absolute high of day. Yeah, right there. 33 extra points. So when you get to double that average, I mean, you're talking about 150 to 200 points that you've already captured, and in this case, an extra 33 points. I mean, you're starting to get a little bit greedy there, and you're taking the risk, right? That's where the risk that this thing does kind of break trend, maybe come back down and revert to the mean a little bit. That's where that can happen, right? And let's flip over back to Tuesday, and let me go to a 15-minute chart because there's a very good example on 15-minute chart. So look at the 15-minute chart here on Tuesday. And let's count these out real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 15-minute green candles in a row. Once we broke over orb high right here, so if you were long anywhere in here, even if you got long on the breakout somewhere in this area and you're riding this trend, where do you want to take profit? I mean, honestly, wouldn't blame you for taking profit anywhere in this area, but we did have that strong trend day I was showing you guys a while ago. And I can flip over here once again. I can go to the 15-minute just to show you guys a second example. The most that we've had, once again, for the 15-minute, the most that we've had over the last 6 months is 13, and our average is just about 4.5. So if we get to 8, 9 15-minute candles in a row, I'm already thinking, hey, this is probably a spot to take profit, lock everything in, or maybe even just tighten stops up pretty tight. Because I mean, if you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we get to 9 right here. We're at double the average once again. So there's double the average that we get, and we got 10 total out of 13 being the max. I mean, we're getting really close to wrong chart. Let me jump back over here. We're getting really close to at 10 right here. We're getting really close to 13. So we're double the average on this 9th one right here. Probably a good spot, and you can see, once we get double the average, once we get really close to the max, we do get that red bar pretty soon. And once again, just for the visual here, if you got long anywhere in here, let's say you even took the breakout. Let's just say you said, if it breaks orb high, I'm going to get long, and you got long here. Let's say you took it right there. That's 161 points. Our closing candle's right here. So let's see if you did just greed it out. We did get a pop here at the end of the day. Maybe you got, even if you got everything, an extra 30, 40 points once again. And that's saying, even if you got in a little bit late here and locked it in, 162 points versus an extra 30 or 40. I mean, you're really getting greedy on something that, you really want to lock in, because our goal is to extract all the profit we can from the market, right? So when it comes to trend days, this is basically what I really like to look at, kind of how I manage them. So EMA 9, EMA 21, outer VWAP band, I have these on all day long. Obviously the orb is a big one too. Now you're going to combine this, right? So you're going to combine this with your levels, your trend lines, if you use fibs, whatever you use, right? But just to basically recap this real fast, EMA 9, EMA 21 on your 5-minute chart are fantastic. Obviously there's way more and other things that you can add and do with this, but this is the bread and butter of what I watch during the day. The VWAP with the outer band, let me show you that one more time. So this is just your VWAP indicator on TradingView, and you see the outer VWAP band right here. They have other ones. I just use this one, and like I showed you guys in these two examples, you can really see where it where it supports on these big trend days. If you do see it, get back inside of this, and then, like, let's say you come back inside and you rejected something like this, rejected underneath it and came back down, then I'm looking for a trip down to VWAP. We lose VWAP, then I'm looking for a trip down to the bottom down here. So trend days, there you go. Those are my favorite indicators for that. Obviously, don't forget the orb, and of course Edgeful. The data reports are great. These indicators are fantastic. There's more popping up on my list every single week. And then Edgeful itself, this report, so under price action, just to show you how to get there again, average consecutive bars down here under range and trend analysis, average consecutive bars, and customize it, whatever you like or whatever you see. So for example, on Tuesday I saw the 15-minute candles. There was a bunch in a row. Today I saw the 30-minute. So different scenarios called for different reports. They had the flexibility for that and help make a good decision. So final recap, if you see double the average amount of green bars in a trend day, probably a good spot to take profit. You don't always get that, but if you do, that's a gift from the market right there. Lock in that profit and go home nice and green. Get ready for the next day or the next trade. So all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. I will get this sent out first thing in the morning, and then we'll see you guys in the next one.